Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. It's Tuesday, folks, here with Matt Felan of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in one final day as a guest host for Art. Art was gone all last week. Genius move on his part, skipping out on election week. That's why he's a master. That's why he's a genius. He knew exactly when to leave, but he is back tomorrow. And Jonathan, I got to ask, is he back in the region, or am I making that up? I thought I saw him doing some Saginaw Spirit-related things.
I don't know. He might be.
You don't know?
Aren't
you that man's keeper? Don't you know where he is and what's going on?
I know where he is and what's going on between the hours of 9 and 11:30 on weekday mornings.
And we have to have a different conversation because my staff seems to know where I am, like pretty much 24/7, 365. They have a whole different idea on what's going on. So, folks, as usual, when I host a show, we really try to highlight a lot of awesome things going on across the Great Lakes Bay region. And this morning, we're joined by Andy Weiss with Truck Trolley. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So one of the things I love when we talk about this region is, hey, we have awesome big players, right? We got Dow and Hemlock Semiconductor, next here, GM, our hospitals, universities. We have big employers. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the fabric of any local economy is small business. And part of small business is entrepreneurialism. And that's really one of those areas that I think a lot of people think about. A lot of people, I will tell you, I've given a couple speeches where I talk about how there's room in our regional economy for entrepreneurialism. One of them's my favorite. Laura Horwath was literally listening to me giving the speech, talking about how, hey, if you have an idea, run with it. We have these great resources. Go to the SBDC, go to CMURC, the whole bit. Mm-hmm. And I was really pitching entrepreneurialism hard in this speech. I'm not lying, Andy. She went home. She looked at her husband, John, and said, hey, Matt Felan was giving the speech, and it just connected. I'm quitting my job tomorrow, and I'm going to open a boutique, and this is what I'm going to do. And so she called me, and I'm freaking out going, listen, my words should not have that level of power. That's like a massive decision. Don't blame you listen to me about doing this, and now you're opening a boutique. She goes, no. She goes, I've wanted to do this forever. This has been on my mind. This has been my passion. Just you kind of pushed me over that ledge that it was time to take the step. So I love having you here. You're a local entrepreneur. It's awesome. But we got to start with the most important question of the week before we get into anything. Jonathan knows where I'm going right away. Did you stay up and watch a Lions game Sunday night?
Oh, I apologize. I did not.
Andy, tell me it's not true. You didn't stay up late? You weren't part of the crowd?
I go to bed early, man. I can't stay up that late. I just watched the next morning and celebrated on my own in the morning.
So now you guys know if you want to be an entrepreneur, that means on Sunday night, you got to go to bed early. You can't stay up late watching the Lions. Okay. I'm such a Lions junkie. And after, basically 48 years of massive suffering and pain and just indescribable anguish, I'm savoring every last little bit of the last couple of years.
How great of a story is it, though, that they didn't play that great, and it's just a phenomenal ending for them?
It never happens that way.
Oh.
There were two crazy stats, like the last time a team had been down 15 at the half and had, however many turnovers, like the last time a team had won a game like that was like since the 1970 Jets. It had been like 54 years since a game had gone that poorly. And a team would still come out on top. So
Bates is living his best life.
Dude was selling bricks like last year this time in Houston. And now, dude's kicking 52 and 58-yard field goals.
Yeah.
I saw online. It was my favorite thing. There was apparently a flight that was in air that had gone out of Detroit and was heading somewhere.
Yeah.
And all the people were watching. And right as they're about to kick the game-winning field goal, the flight attendant gets on. Excuse me, flight, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, no. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she didn't realize what was going on. So then she went to get into it again, right as the kick's going to be made. And everyone on the plane again, no. Everyone's like begging her to shut up because it cuts off the audio you're watching.
And it puts closed captions.
Yeah. And then, so like everyone on the flight was dying. So she figures it out and it goes dead silent. And then he kicks that field goal, and then the plane's going crazy. Like the people on the plane are going nuts. It was pretty fun.
My favorite part of that recording is you can obviously tell there's one guy from Texas on that plane because you hear, yes, No.
That's how I felt the entire time. And I had a blast. So Sunday, I was like literally with 3 of my best friends since birth. Guys that I went to preschool, kindergarten, grade school, high school. And these are the kind of guys we may only get together, the 4 of us, once in a blue moon because everyone's so busy.
Yeah.
But it's like we've never missed a beat since we were, still 10 or 14 or 18. So I had a blast. It was
Pretty
a good
cool
time.
experience with them too. Then
Yeah, it was great. We're all enjoying it.
What about all that? Like I'm seeing just people from Michigan just traveling all over to get to these games.
So there's 2 things to that. Yeah, our folks are traveling. Like
Yeah.
I have great friends. My friends Trevor and Heather in Freeland. They went down. They were awesome. Heather works at Dow, so the Dow shuttle flies down to Houston.
Yeah, that works.
So they were really able to make it work, which is a great call on their part. They travel well, but here's the other part. I mean, we're still a state of 10 million people. And there have been times where a lot of our folks have migrated out and they're all across the country. So we have these pockets, man, in Houston and Washington and New York and Chicago, just tons of Michigan folks.
Yeah, local fans.
Yeah, local fans are all over. I can tell you, I went to MSU, and for years when we'd go watch them play at Northwestern, that crowd was half MSU fans. Why? All these MSU grads live in Chicago.
Yeah.
So there's this massive contingent. But yeah, the opposing teams are starting to get a little annoyed because Lions fans are out in droves.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Putting blocks on their tickets so the fans don't get them.
It's awesome. We're crafty. We'll keep getting them. So, hey, why don't we start out with this? So, for our listeners, tell the Andy Weiss story before Truck Trolley. What was your career and kind of what was your education and career before you started Truck Trolley?
Sure.
And where are you from? Everyone wants to know. The listeners are calling in. They're all like, hey, where's this guy from? Who is he? They all want to know. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's this bald guy on the radio today? I can't even see.
They all think you have luscious, Fabio head of hair.
Yeah.
You're good. They don't know.
Born and raised in Pinconning. So local boy, born on a farm. My dad still is working that same farm since we were kids. Went to Pinconning High School, graduated from there in 2000.
Go Spartans.
That's right. And then went to CMU for my undergrad, fire up chips, for accounting. Go figure.
No, this makes sense to me. Keep going.
I'm a recovering CPA currently. So I fall off the wagon every once in a while and still dip my toes in that water, but recovering.
So be
CPA.
honest, were you bored to death as a CPA? Were you like, what am I doing? Like sitting in front of a computer going through numbers just isn't fulfilling.
I love the numbers, but I'm wired a little. I'm wired a little bit differently than than you typically would be. The numbers tell me a story, and I like using those numbers to craft that story and understand things. But yes, if I'm just sitting there crunching numbers behind a screen, it's pretty boring. But to use those numbers to make changes, to highlight specific things in businesses, that's exciting to me. But if it's just crunching numbers, I couldn't stand it. Yeah. So got my education from CMU in accounting. Started at a local firm, Yo and Yo, right here in Saginaw, Michigan.
Yeah. Awesome firm.
Yep. Was there for about 10 years. And then got the opportunity to partner with a colleague of mine and a client of mine at Yo and Yo at Vantage Plastics up in Standish, Michigan. So stayed pretty local throughout my career.
And now we can say Vantage Plastics in
Bay City.
Standish and Bay City,
That's
Michigan.
right.
And that Bay City operation is rocking, man. Have you been in there yet?
I have. Did you see it when they first took it over?
It was scary.
It's like zombie apocalypse
I
style.
thought Paul was out of his mind. I'm like, how is this even a structure that you can build upon? But the actual skeleton worked, and they put a ton of money into that spot. It's a
beautiful place now.
Yeah, and for our listeners, it's on Wilder Road. Like if you kept going and taking Wilder away from Bay City Town Center and kind of all the shopping and restaurants, and like head towards you're going to the river and the marina, and you go through there. SC Johnson's down there. There's some other companies down there, but you kind of stop short. And there was this old abandoned Dow facility, and Vantage Plastics has turned it into just a monster. We had Paul Altman on the show.
Oh, did you?
Probably a couple months ago.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. He and Jordan Teamy were on from Amigo. And
you want to talk about entrepreneur? Those two entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. People right so I love that we can now say Vantage is a regional company, baby. It's regional.
That's right.
Standish and Bay City.
And when we get into it, they make a couple of components for the truck trolley.
Oh,
yeah.
And who does it? Is it is Vantage?
Yep. So
do you use any of the technology from Amigo? I know we're jumping ahead a tiny bit.
Oh, nope. We don't do anything
No,
from
nothing.
Amigo
Okay,
yet. No,
not yet.
not yet.
We're going to use
said
yet.
yet, yeah.
Jordan's always got plans. So you're at Vantage, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so you've had this career. And what were you doing at Vantage?
I was the CFO.
You were the CFO.
Yeah.
Oh, so listen, we're going to break right here because so far we've heard that you're just a big accounting nerd from a farm. And we need to hear how that transforms in entrepreneurialism and truck trolley. We're going to take a break first.
Perfect.
Get ready to cheer on Bay County's future business stars. Join us November 13th at John Glenn High School for the Business by the Bay Pitch Competition Finals, presented by Huntington Bank, where 5 Bay County entrepreneurs will compete for their share of over $11,000 in cash prizes. Open to the public and free admission. Doors open at 5 p.m. for a meet and greet with refreshments. Competition starts at 6 p.m. Brought to you by the Michigan Small Business Development Center.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
When you plant Rink, you can expect excellence in every seed. Why? Because we expect excellence in every seed. For 6 generations, we've done extensive testing across the Midwest and Great Plains to select the best drought and disease-resistant varieties. This testing, plus our investment in genetic research and state-of-the-art seed processing, result in better yields. Don't leave your seed to chance. Let us help you find the right seed for your growing conditions. Rink Seed. Results since 1846.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's an encouraging sign for the holiday shopping season. Shopify, the shopping platform used by retailers, is reporting an upbeat quarter and says business could be even better in coming months, rising in the 20% range. Shopify shares are up 17%. Home Depot has raised its expectations for the year. After a better-than-expected quarter, shoppers were buying seasonal goods and supplies for outdoor projects. The stock's up nearly 2%. Tyson Foods is seeing more demand for beef and chicken. That helped boost earnings in recent months. Tyson shares up nearly 6%. Though rental car company Hertz reported a disappointing quarter, it lost more money than expected and shares are down 9%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Success. It's discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us that comes before all recognition. It's the best of each of us made better by the best in all of us. It's what Stifel's been doing for over 130 years. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management and investment banking firms in the industry. Stifel. It's where success meets success. Start your journey at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
The Great Lakes Bay Economic Club's next luncheon is Monday, November 18th at Curtis Hall at SVSU. The election and its economic impact will be discussed and led by SVSU economics professor Zachary Cole. Please join us for the Economic Club luncheon Monday, November 18th. And for more information and to sign up, please go to the Great Lakes Bay Economic Club website. And we look forward to seeing you at the luncheon.
People don't like me. They don't plan for me. And they get mad when I show up. And I always show up eventually.
Can't believe this is happening. My truck is starting to rust.
Hey, man, a guy's got to eat. Your vehicle's a buffet. And road salt is my favorite seasoning. All those nooks and crannies underneath hold dirt, salt, and grime. It's perfect for me. You don't want me here. You should have called Paintbull.
Now is the perfect time for Paintbull rust proofing and undercoating. Because if you do nothing, rust will win. Paintbull Express on Bay Road in Saginaw. Visit paintbullrepair.com.
Art Lewis here to invite you to join Alpha Media and Collect Vacations for a trip visiting the National Parks of America next September. You'll begin by flying from Detroit to Scottsdale, Arizona to begin this fabulous tour. You'll spend time in Sedona before arriving at the Grand Canyon and spend the night on the South Rim. Then it's on to Lake Powell, Marble Canyon, and Kanab before heading to Zion National Park. Next, you'll venture to Bryce Canyon to view the hoodoos before driving to Salt Lake City. Following that, it's off to Jackson Hole, Wyoming and the Grand Tetons. Yellowstone National Park with its geysers and hot springs awaits your oohs and ahs before heading to Cody and the Buffalo Bill Center. Finally, visiting Crazy Horse Monument and Mount Rushmore in Rapid City before flying home. This 12-day spectacular includes 10 breakfasts and 6 dinners, plus transportation from Saginaw to Detroit Metro and return. For more information, request a Zoom link with Colette's Ed McKenna for Monday, November 18th from 3 to 4 p.m., or request a brochure by email or U.S. mail by emailing artlewis@wsgw.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan from the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, spending one final day with you before Art Lewis is back. And as far as I know, Art should be back for the duration of 2024, finishing the year strong. And if he's not, I'm not on the schedule at least. So it's been a great little run here in November. We've been able to talk about a lot of amazing things, from the election to the Lions and everything in between. But this morning we're with Andy Weiss from Truck Trolley. And before the break, we have found out that he was a complete accounting nerd. And he was an accountant at Yo and Yo and at Vantage Plastics. And then the lightning hit. So, Andy, tell us what happens at this point when you decide, okay, you have an idea. It's time to make the leap. What exactly happened at that point?
Well, at first, it wasn't just my idea. There was a group of us that, I don't know if you've ever been in this situation before, but you get around with your buddies and you just start talking about something.
Yeah, but those are generally bad ideas that follow then.
Not always bad.
It's generally hooliganism that follows after that point.
It can be
nothing productive like starting a
driving
company
through the field. Yeah, it can be weird things like that. But, you just feed off of each other and you come up with an idea and you think, does this have legs or not? So I've always had this entrepreneurial itch. I've always wanted to run my own business. I've always wanted to bring a product to market. That's kind of always been in my mind. I've always been trying to think of things, and that's the team that came up with this. The same thing, always trying to solve a problem, always trying to improve on things, and we just never had that spark of the one that really inspired us. And so we came up with this idea, and the team kind of finessed it a little bit. And once we recognized that there was something here, we had to make the decision. Are we going to go in with it or are we not? Are we going to bring it to the world and try to find people like us that would enjoy the product? Or do we just let it sit on a shelf? And so we decided it's time to move forward.
Something, though, had to happen where you came up with this idea. You saw a problem, right? Or you saw an opportunity.
Oh, always. Every entrepreneur does.
Yeah. So what was the problem first before we get into how you solved it? What did you guys notice that was missing that you're like, gosh, the world would be a better place if we had X?
So this concept, we're not the first ones with this concept. So when you think about your truck bed, we're always trying to find an easier way to get in the truck bed or get the stuff out of the truck bed. And so out on the market, when we were coming up with this idea, there's decked, there's bed slide, there's cargo glide, there's these heavy duty versions that transform your truck bed to a drawer system or to a slide system so that you can stand at the tailgate and get the gear that's in your truck without climbing into it. And so that's kind of the inspiration.
Sure.
They're phenomenal products. They're heavy duty. They're going to last for a long time. The issue we had as truck owners is we wanted that convenience that they were offering. We loved the product. We would love to have it in our truck for that convenience. The problem is we use our trucks for other things, going to get sand, mulch, stone. We're using the full payload of the truck.
If you're going to get a truck, you want to use it for any and everything that you're going to have to tackle.
Exactly right. So we wanted something in our mind. We thought we want something that gives us that convenience when we want it, but gives us the full utility of the truck bed when we need it. So, and to be honest, we didn't want to invest the money that those other systems were going to cost. Sometimes, they're $1,300 to some of them are $3,500.
Sure.
Just to transform your truck bed. So we wanted that. We wanted that flexibility in our truck, and we wanted lower cost. And then lastly, if you're moving from truck to truck, we wanted to be able to take that investment and move it to our next vehicle instead of having to buy a brand new one.
Yeah.
And so that was the problem we saw. That's what we wanted for our trucks, and that's what started the gears turning. Okay, how do we do this?
So you got my attention there. So you can literally move it from one vehicle to the next.
Yeah. So if you have a Silverado right now, and your next truck is going to be a Ram, you can take this and put it right into your Ram.
Dude, nobody does that.
We
Okay,
do.
you can't even get a phone when you go from one phone to the other that uses the same charger, let alone a system to maneuver equipment on the back of a pickup truck. So, but I just want to make sure that so our listeners fully get it. So what exactly is Truck Trolley?
So Truck Trolley is a lightweight roller tray system for the bed of your pickup truck. So it's a tray, basically a flat piece that is on rollers, that when you're at your tailgate and you open your tailgate, you grab our system and pull it towards the tailgate, and everything that's on that trolley comes right to the tailgate. You can reach everything in your truck bed from the tailgate.
So much better than a big guy like myself getting up on the back of the truck, butt in the air. Nothing ever looks good. You're struggling to move stuff, right? We've seen that, right?
Yeah.
No one looks good when they're doing that.
Yeah.
This is much easier. You're down on the ground. You pull this out. How much weight can that pull out? How much weight can be on top of that of equipment or things that are on there?
Yeah, so we're the lighter duty option. So it's 300 pounds.
Okay.
That's the safety rating. Now people have loaded that thing up way more than that, but we don't recommend it. But the safety rating is 300 pounds on the trolley.
And so, give me examples of the type of thing that people would put on the trolley.
Oh, I mean, there's a million things. Let's take camping for example. I load mine up with firewood. And then it'll have my coolers, my camp chairs, suitcases, tents, anything that you're going to take camping if you're going hunting.
And it just pulls right back off.
Right out.
Because I've been up on that pickup truck all the time, handing firewood to my son and my father-in-law, one piece at a time, one piece at a time. You tell me I didn't have to do that.
No. What I like about it when I go camping is I'll put all the firewood cab side of the truck.
Sure.
And all my other camping gear, coolers and tents and stuff like that on the back end. And I can pull the trolley out and I can get the firewood without unloading everything else in my truck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's pretty convenient. Now, if you're hunting, you're fishing, groceries is a great option if you're using your truck every day and you don't want to put the groceries in the cab of the pickup truck, and you don't put them in the bed because they roll around.
Yeah, I was going to say, in this case, because they're on the trolley, everything stays stationary, correct?
Yep. And even if it does roll around, the trolley pulls out and you can grab it from wherever it rolled to.
The product's amazing. Like,
Thanks.
Give me more for our listeners from a work perspective. So let's say you have some folks that are driving around right now and they have that pickup truck and stuff's just strewn in the back right now. What are some great work purposes for it?
So lighter duty industrial applications. If you're like foremen, if they're bringing tools out to their crews, plumbers, electricians. But if we're talking heavy duty construction, this isn't the product for them. Their product are the ones that I talked about earlier that are they're going to need 1,000-pound payload in their truck because they're carrying that much heavy gear. But if you're doing light construction, plumbing, electrical kind of things, it works out really well.
No, that makes sense, because what you guys noticed was that it seemed to just be the highest end Cadillac version was available, the most industrial was available. But if you just wanted something, a little bit more every day, that was practical and much more affordable for a lot more people, that was missing from the market, right?
Yeah, we thought so.
Yeah. So at this point, why has our friends down the road at GM, Stellantis, Ford not called you and said, we're going to buy that from you for $2.4 billion? Has that call come yet, Andy?
No, that call has not come. I don't know that it'll ever come our way, but it is, as an entrepreneur starting out, anybody you would ask, it takes a lot just to get your name, the brand, the word out. My dad always says good news travels slow, bad news travels fast. And so we feel we have a good product, and it's just taking time to get the word out to everybody that this is available, and it's starting to take shape. But things like this, boots on the ground, getting it in as many trucks as possible so people can see it, touch it, feel it, is what we're going after.
Oh, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We're going to tell more people in the world all about Truck Trolley.
Discover the art and style of custom framing at Cooper's Frame and Art, Saginaw's trusted locally owned frame shop for over a century. Whether custom framing your artwork, family photos, sports jerseys, or creating a shadow box of memories, Cooper's can provide the professional design that will make a statement in your home or office. They also have a wide selection of ready-made frames and framed art available. Check them out on Facebook or at coopersframe.com, located at 2905 Court Street in Saginaw.
This is Sonia with Feges Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom one of a kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Feges Interiors. Through December 1st, save an additional $75 per shade on select styles with motorization. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Feges Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
Art Lewis here at Quick Lane Freeland, next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. Quick Lane Freeland is a one-stop shop for all your oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, and they work on Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, Hondas, Jeep, Dodges, all makes and models to keep your car or truck in good shape. And by the way, speaking of tires, they are selling new tires for just $5 over cost. You can't do any better than that. Brand names like Michelin, Goodyear, and BF Goodrich, plus an additional $60 to $100 in rebates. Extra for installation includes balancing and lifetime tire repairs. Enjoy our customer lounge with internet and free ice cream bars at Quick Lane Freeland next to McDonald Ford, where again they work on all makes and models of cars and trucks. They want to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape at Quick Lane Freeland next to McDonald Ford.
It's Tommy James and the Shondell. Saturday night party night, November 30th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Classic 60s hits with Tommy James. Tickets start at $35 and are on sale now at the box office at etix.com.
My baby does the hanky panky.
November 30th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Don't miss Tommy James and the Shondell. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Blitz coming. Cardinals pick it up. McKenzie throws over the middle. It's
there it goes.
And here goes Joseph Walker. Breaks the tackle. Joseph Walker, the 30, the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley. The Cardinals take the lead.
With a 7-3 record on the year so far, the Cardinals of Saginaw Valley State University return home to take on Michigan Tech in the final game of the season this Saturday. Game day coverage begins at 12:30 on 100.5 FM WSGW.
It's the Stormmaster Exterior Studios of WSGW, and WSGW is online with Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. So it's Matt Felan over at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I'm with Pinconing's finest, Andy Weiss with Truck Trolley. It's actually been a Pinconing week, I'm not going to lie. Yesterday we had Andy Gorski in with Frank's. Tara was with us, and she is all things Pinconing. Now we have you. I mean, we've got at least 1/5 of Pinconing's population covered here this week. It's been fantastic. It's a Spartan week. We love it. So, folks, we're talking about Truck Trolley, a company developed by Andy Weiss and some of his buddies. And you talk about how now you have to grow the company. So my first question is this all you do now? Do you do this 24/7, 365, or do you still have another job?
I still have another business, yes.
So you have another business. What's your other business?
EOS I'm an EOS implementer. So EOS is Entrepreneurial Operating System.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the system that Vantage Plastics we ran on when I was there.
Yep.
And now I teach it to other entrepreneurs.
Okay. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're not to the point yet where, you're rolling in stacks of cash where you don't have to, where this is just what you do. So what do you do now to get that word out? You talk about how, your dad gave you, some pretty hardy advice there. The bad news travels fast, good news travels slowly. And so you feel like this is kind of that uphill, you got to get the word out. What do you do now? What are those next steps to take Truck Trolley to that next level? What are kind of your plans, and really what are you hoping to see from Truck Trolley?
So it's really about just pulling levers at this point. My background is not marketing. My background is not sales. And so you're always pulling levers. What is the next thing that's going to get me in front of 10,000 people, 100,000 people, million people? Is that influencers? Is it ad campaigns? Is it trade shows? Is it just boots on the ground, running around the country, showing it to everybody you can? So that's where we're at. Just playing.
And the answer is all the above, right?
Yeah. I mean, at this point you have to, because you don't, unless you have that magic pill or silver bullet that's gonna rock it for you. You just gotta methodically.
You need Al Borland from Tool Time and the Tim the Toolman Taylor. You need him as like your guy there, and he's out doing the commercial, and you do something online and that explodes. How do we get to that guy? Are those type of things you're talking about?
Yeah, you got to find the person that's going to connect with your target audience. Yep.
So Jonathan Dent's probably not the guy. He's not the one that's gonna blow this up to the level we need.
I don't know about that.
No, but I know that you're on with Mike Avery. You've partnered up with him.
Yeah, Mike's a good step towards that. He's got a great following.
Yes, he does.
He loves the product. I can't thank Mike enough for what he's done for us.
Give us an idea. Let's do a little Shark Tank here.
Okay.
So where do you manufacture the product?
So we assemble it right here in Saginaw.
Awesome.
Yep.
And who produces the components and the various parts that you need? Where do you get them? Are they all produced locally? Do you bring them in from all over the place? It's one of these things at the end of the day, the actual truck trolley comes from how many different places to put one together?
Yeah, so it's 100% made in the USA.
Awesome.
95% of it roughly is made in Michigan. 5% is made in Tennessee. We have a strap. It's a cord rail system, so the straps are made in Tennessee. Everything else is locally sourced in Michigan. And so I said earlier, Vantage Plastics makes the tray itself. And then we have an injection molder out of Lake Orion who does the wheels and the hinges. We have a metal fabricator in Litchfield, Michigan, that does the metal bracketry. Bridgeport does our powder coating. And we do a little bit. We've done a little bit of the metal fab at our shop, but mainly what we're doing is taking all the components, assembling them all together, putting them in the box, and getting them ready to go. Our goal when we set out on this whole thing is to make it as simple as possible for the person that's using the trolley.
Sure.
And so one of the things we focused on is when you open it when you take it out of the box, it's ready to go. You don't have to assemble it. You don't have instructions on how to put this piece here and bolt this piece there. It comes out of the box, ready to install. All you have to worry about is getting the cord rail system put in place, and it's ready to rock.
So for you, just so our listeners have it, we're going to do this once now, but once later. Where do people go if they want to learn more about it? They want to purchase one. They want to check it out online. And do you have videos online that show it and shows what it is? Where do they go?
So our website is trucktrolley.com. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to see all the videos and see some of the uses that people are using the product for. We have created a great network of people that are carrying the product. And so locally, you can go to Frank's Great Outdoors. You just had Andy on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They carry the product.
Pinconning sticks together, baby.
That's right. You can get it at Pines Truck Accessories up in Cuckolin there. Bay City Vehicle Accessories. I think Flint and Vehicle Accessories in Flint carries it as well. Redmond's here in Saginaw. QTA over in Midland. So locally, you can get it at any of your truck accessory stores.
That's awesome.
And you can do that nationwide. Our website obviously sells it, but places like it's on Tractor Supply, eTrailer. So we have a wide network where it's available to you. Whoever you prefer to do business with, you can get the product.
Awesome. So we're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we're going to keep talking about being an entrepreneur and all about Truck Trolley.
Time now for the Mid-Michigan Retirement Report. I'm Mark Elliott here with Mindy McIntosh, the founder and CEO of McIntosh and Associates. The big question for many of our listeners as they approach retirement is, will I be okay in retirement? Mindy, how do you help someone figure out if they've saved enough to be comfortable?
Well, Mark, there are many risks to your money, like market risk, healthcare cost, and taxes. And many people worry if they've saved enough or wonder, am I going to be all right throughout retirement years? And we have strategies that really help preserve your wealth, and it can be more important than the dollar amount that you actually saved. And we like you to be able to receive and get an analysis of your situation to help gain some clarity.
All right, Mindy, tell us about the offer you have for our listeners today.
Well, if you're worried if you'll be okay in retirement, you probably don't have a solid strategy for income. And we have a great resource to help our listeners today. We call this our Retire Ready Toolkit. Our team here helped put this together just for you, and it's complimentary. So you can receive it today when you call or text the word income to 989-795-5564. The center of it has a copy of my latest book, Cultivate Wealth. It has chapters on everything from investments to Social Security and specifically income planning. We also include guides on other big topics like long-term care and strategies for helping reduce your taxes. So if you'd like to receive this information in your hands today, please call or text the word income to 989-795-5564. That's 989-795-5564.
Take advantage of this offer and get your Retire Ready Toolkit today. Like Mindy said, you can call or text the word income to 989-795-5564. The team at McIntosh and Associates will get your Retire Ready Toolkit to you right away. So just call or text income to 989-795-5564. Firm offers insurance services.
You already know that ATS is the area's premier self-defense training academy. But did you know that we're also the area's premier seller of self-defense pistols? At Applied Training Solutions, located in the Midland Mall, we do bespoke firearm fittings. You wouldn't run a marathon in ill-fitting shoes. Don't be in a defensive engagement with a firearm that doesn't fit you. Call 989-220-1462. Applied Training Solutions, forward thinking, on target training.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week we have something special for you. Blossom Spa and Boutique in Saginaw is offering up not one, not two, but 3 amazing deals just for you. Enjoy fabulous deals on facials with Mallory, half off a cool sculpting session, and discounts on treatments with the spa's cellulite machine. So what are you waiting for? Relax and refresh this holiday season, or treat your loved one to a spa day. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com to get your deal today.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Build up to Black Friday with savings all month long at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances, plus take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And don't wait to pick up holiday inflatables under $20. Don't wait to save, in-store or online now, because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/6 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan from the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. I'm here with Andy Weiss today from Truck Trolley and really talking about how this company is taking off. So how long ago did you start Truck Trolley now?
So we filed our all of the paperwork in early 2022. So January 2022.
In the midst of COVID, you filed your paperwork,
sure.
Kind of just coming out,
yeah,
right?
Coming out of it. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that takes, again, I'm going to use the PC term, some intestinal fortitude to do it at that exact time, which is awesome.
Well, when you think about it, though, when you have these ideas, you think everything's going to go quick and fast and great. You know, you're going to go on this trajectory that's unheard of before. It didn't feel like it was going to be too much of a problem. But
so without getting too specific, you know, we don't want to give away the company secrets. Have you been happy with the growth, or what kind of growth have you seen year after year since you started? Let's say ballpark percentage wise.
I mean, you're starting from nothing, so you're going to have thousands of % increase year over year, but it's slower. We are right around 500 units is what we're projecting right now out the door.
Okay. And so when you say 500 units, is that on an annual basis?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah. So sky's the limit, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have more demand, you don't have a problem getting the supplies you need, the suppliers, the assembly. You can produce more. You just need the demand in order to be able to do so, correct?
Yeah.
And in theory, when you talk about 500 units a year, so you're still, really ramping up right now. What's the goal? What would you love to get to? Would you love to see this, in the tens of thousands a year? Like, is the goal for this to really explode, or is at a certain point you're like, okay, here's like a nice spot where we want to be because you can grow too fast? What's kind of the hope and the aspiration? I'm giving you a magic wand, man. I just gave you Dumbledore's wand. You make it all happen. What's the dream? What do you really want to see?
Right now, I'd like to see 100,000 units
per year.
No, not per year. My goal is just to get that 100,000 units. I'd like to see 100,000 units in the next 5 to 7 years.
Okay, so that's awesome. So that's an
units.
aggregate number over the next kind of 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I'd say probably 5 years. Yep.
But then after that, we want 100,000 a year, right?
Well,
I mean, this is what we're looking to do, right? Isn't the goal of any entrepreneur to at some point, make it explode and blow it up to anything that you've never seen?
I'd say not always. A lot of times it's just you want to make a difference in the world.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So it's not, you might look at it and say you're not really making that much of a difference in the world, but you're impacting somebody that is having some problem that they need to solve, and if we can fill that void, I'd like to do that.
So we have Andy on radio today, but I'm going to tell you guys, our dude is photogenic here. You should be on Shark Tank, brother. You got the look, though. No, the dome is perfect because you got the beard. You're rocking the flannel shirt, some jeans, some work boots. Like, you are meant to. You're tall, right? How tall are you?
6'7".
6'7". So we got a lumberjack selling the truck trolley. Like, you should be on Shark Tank. Like, you're exactly what these guys want to see come out.
Maybe I'll apply for it.
Have you ever applied or thought about it?
I've thought about it, but haven't tried it yet. Maybe I will.
If you think I'm crazy, I'm not. Like, that's the style, the person, the persona. They want that kind of, vision on TV, right? That no dime a dozen, 6-foot dudes coming out that, look like
shirt and tie,
somebody's dad and a polo shirt. And, like, this isn't what they want to see. They want someone that's unique, that just, you tell a story the moment that you walk out, right? You can immediately look and go, I think that dude was a farmer who played hoops. Like, it's a story that you tell.
It doesn't look like an accountant, does it?
No, it doesn't. Did you play hoops, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, NEMC, class of 2000.
Thank God. Because if you're 6'7" and didn't play basketball, it just breaks my heart. Those are the type of stories that kill me.
I tried out for CMU. I could have went to play for Alma, but I followed my heart and went with my wife to CMU, or my girlfriend at the time, and tried out for Jay Smith's CMU squad. Of course, that was the year that they had Chris Kaman.
Oh, yeah.
And David Weber.
Yep. That was a great team.
Oh, and that's the year they went to the...
Kaman ended up at the Clippers, I think.
Yep.
Correct.
And they went to the NCAA tournament that year and played against Duke. Gave them a run for their money.
Did you go to high school with Willie Pickfett?
Willie was a few years younger than I am. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, we played ball. Him and Tim Fenwick were kind of like our ball boys when we were seniors playing around.
So pride and joy. Was Scott Pickfett coach in those days, or Timmy Floyd?
Scott just left. So when I got pulled up to varsity, Scott was coach, and then Mike View was our varsity coach when we made varsity.
I love it.
Yeah.
ISD,
all those guys.
Famous. Yeah. So funny story. My dad actually ended up announcing basketball at Pinconning for probably about 6 or 7 years. Mm-hmm. He was close with a guy named Lefty Franz, who was a longtime coach at Bay City All Saints. So I was the ball boy back in the 80s up at Pinconning. And that team was a good old Mike View, Timmy Floyd, Denny Friesel, Joe Wilson, all those guys.
Was Kowalczyk on that team?
No, I think he was younger. But that whole group. So it's kind of a small world sometimes. So, I got, for all the Pinconning people that are listening, I got some Pinconning stripes. I got some Pinconning street cred. So we have a minute left. Just to remind everyone, where can they go to find your product again?
www.trucktrolley.com.
And let's go even one step further. And I think this is more important because we were talking about this a little bit off the air. You need to get out and in more places, more retail shops. You got to get the word out.
Mhm.
If people that are listening, like, hey, this is a cool idea and I'm connected to someone, how do they contact you to be able to talk to you and say, hey, we may be able to find you new lines of distribution or new ideas, new people to connect with? How do they find you?
Yeah, I'd love it if they just give me a call. So it's 989-262-9595.
Say it again so everybody can get, if they were driving, they want to listen carefully, pull out that pen. You're getting your 5 seconds while I stretch. What's that number again?
989-262-9595.
Awesome. Well, hey, Andy, great to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Love the story. Best of luck to you. And let's get Truck Trolley to 100,000.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll be back.
Associates in Eye Care in Saginaw are hosting their Fall Harvest Trunk Show Thursday, November 14th, 1 until 6:30 p.m. Stop in and see all the latest styles in eyewear, giveaways, refreshments, and so much more. Take 30% off a complete pair and 40% off additional pairs with several brands to choose from. Plus, don't forget, most insurance balances will be ending at the end of the year, so book your appointment while you're there. The Fall Harvest Trunk Show, Thursday, November 14th, 1 until 6:30 p.m. at Associates in Eye Care off Center Road in Saginaw.
This is Mike from Westside Decorating Center. It's time to transform your home with style and savings. During the Hunter Douglas Season of Style event, you can save $75 per treatment when you choose their innovative PowerView automation shades. Imagine being able to control your window treatments with just a tap. And don't stop there. Update your entire space with our stunning selection of paint, flooring, and countertops. Visit Westside Decorating Center at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township and let us take your home to the next level.
I have with me Jeff Carrick from M-Care Choices, formerly Medicare Choices. Jeff, I'm understanding that there's big Medicare plan changes we need to look forward to.
Yes, all Medicare beneficiaries will receive a letter in the mail from their current carrier called the ANOC letter, and that's the Annual Notice of Change.
Jeff, what is the benefit to coming to Medicare Choices to get your Medicare review?
First of all, Jim, we're a no-fee service. It doesn't cost you one penny. We have all the major carriers here in the state of Michigan. We analyze your plan. We find out, who are your current doctors, your current prescriptions, and any kind of benefit preferences that are very important to you, and put that into a software system that it will help guide us to the best plan for you.
Jeff, if somebody has questions and wants to set up an appointment, what should they do?
They should give us a call at area code 989-899-7820. And remember, we cover not just Saginaw, but all the surrounding areas. And you can come to our office here in Saginaw, or we can schedule an appointment to come right to your home or meet at the local coffee shop.
Can they find you online?
Yes, at mcarechoices.com.
That wraps up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Once again, Matt Swan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. Want to thank Andy Weiss with Truck Trolley for joining me here on the first hour. In the next hour, I have 3 special guests, 3 students from Bay County who are doing a Rotary Job Shadow program today. They've been around the studio here for the better part of the first hour and a half this morning. But now coming up in the next hour, they're going to join us in studio. And so we're going to have a chance to talk to them and hear what it's like to be a high school student. But first, we're going to switch over to the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President-elect Donald Trump continues with a flurry of picks for top jobs in his administration as lawmakers return to Washington for the first time since the election. And Democrats are strategizing.
America's a resilient nation, and so we're going to get through this political moment.
But House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries told CBS Mornings the party clearly has problems it has to solve.
We've got to make sure, of course, that we fix our broken immigration system and we secure the border. We lower costs and grow the middle class, and we've got to work together.
To do that, he says they have to work with the incoming administration when possible and strongly disagree with them when necessary. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
A New York judge is deciding whether to scrap Mr. Trump's conviction conviction in his hush money case today. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson.
If the judge finds that, in fact, the convictions hold, then the judge has to look at sentencing. And there is a sentencing date scheduled for later this month. Obviously, it's problematic for Donald Trump to serve a sentence in jail while he's also serving as president.
A stunning resignation in England. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, is stepping down after an investigation found he failed to tell police as soon as he found out about a volunteer who sexually and physically abused boys and young men at Christian summer camps over a more than 10-year period. Chinese police say a 62-year-old driver killed 35 people and injured 43 at a sports center in southern Zhuhai. The BBC's Laura Bicker from Beijing.
They say he deliberately rammed into the pedestrians, and they say that he was motivated because he was upset at his divorce property settlement. But as I've said, he is now in a coma and unable to be questioned.
Crews northwest of New York City having a difficult time getting a handle on a wildfire straddling the New York-New Jersey border. It'll be windy today. Rugged terrain isn't helping. Fire Service Commander Christopher Franick.
Hard to get equipment in there because some areas is too steep for bulldozers to go to. So it is somebody on the ground digging fire line, choking on smoke and dust, trying to suppress this fire with manual labor.
Nominations for the Songwriters Hall of Fame are out. Janet Jackson, NWA, and Eminem all in contention for the class of 2025.
Now back in the days of Oak Me, right around the time I became a dope fiend, ate some coke.
Sheryl Crow, George Clinton, and the Doobie Brothers among the other performers nominated as well. This is CBS News.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
Get ready to cheer on Bay County's future business stars. Join us November 13th at John Glenn High School for the Business by the Bay Pitch Competition Finals, presented by Huntington Bank, where 5 Bay County entrepreneurs will compete for their share of over $11,000 in cash prizes. Open to the public and free admission. Doors open at 5 p.m. for a meet and greet with refreshments. Competition starts at 6 p.m. Brought to you by the Michigan Small Business Development Center.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Okay, team, I'm going to level with you. The economy's looking pretty shitty. We need everyone to put on their thinking caps. Our digital marketing is flattening out. Every time we get successful with the right keywords, the costs are becoming astronomical. And our CPMs are going through the roof, and conversion rates are tanking. Now, how are we going to stand out from our competitors when we're all doing the same thing? Bob?
Well, boss, one thing I enjoy doing is listening to podcasts and radio.
Maybe we can use one of those hosts to talk about our products and drive more customers online. Radioactive Media made brands from Squatty Potty, Dr. Marty's Pets, Phone Soap, and more. They can match us with the right influencer and get a ROAS as high as 5-to-1.
Get a free analysis and receive $1,000 credit towards your first national campaign by going to radioactivemedia.com or text the word radio to 511-511. Discover how audio marketing can surpass your current strategies with new and innovative ways that sound better. Go to radioactivemedia.com or text radio to 511-511 today. Terms, conditions, message, and data rates may apply.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 38 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. 2 people are lodged in the Roscommon County Jail on a $100,000 bond of suspicion of possessing and potential delivery of methamphetamines. 36-year-old James Baltzer and 35-year-old Roxanne Armstrong, both of St. Helen, were arrested in Richfield Township last Friday during a traffic stop where police found the suspected drugs. Officers with the Richfield Township Department of Public Safety pulled over a pickup truck around 12:30 a.m. driving on East West Branch Road near M76 for a license violation. then conducted a search of the vehicle with a canine unit. Armstrong and Balzer were both charged with possession of methamphetamine, possession with the intent to deliver, and habitual offense. Their bond has been set at a 10% cash surety. Communities around the region held a special ceremony yesterday to honor veterans and their sacrifices as part of Veterans Day. Ceremonies were held at the Saginaw Valley Naval Ship Museum, home of the USS Edson in Bay City, as well as the Saginaw County Veterans Memorial Plaza in Saginaw's Hoyt Park, and at the Midland County Veterans Memorial Park in Sanford. The events featured wreath-laying ceremonies, 21-gun salutes, and even a cannon salute on the USS Edson to honor the men and women who have served our country in the U.S. Armed Forces. U.S. Congressman Dan Kildee, who attended the event in Sanford, says while having a day set aside to remember and honor those who have served our country is important, we should be honoring them every day of the year. Peace Lutheran School and Early Childhood Center in Saginaw Township is having an extra special Spirit Day for students on Wednesday. The school is hosting a pajama day for kids in grades pre-K through 8, and students are encouraged to bring a brand new stuffed animal for donation to the community's first responders. The stuffed animals will be used by the Saginaw Township firefighters and others when they're at the scene of an emergency and encounter a scared child, giving them something comforting to hold during a difficult time. Any extra stuffed animals beyond these needs would then be donated to the First Responders Toys for Tots collections this Christmas season. Students will assemble in the school's gym at 10 a.m. to offer the items to the Saginaw Township Fire Department. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
This is Sonia with Feges Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom one of a kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Feges Interiors. Through December 1st, save an additional $75 per shade on select styles with motorization. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Feges Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. As the practical reality of President-elect Donald Trump's deportation plans go into effect, but what's clear is the anxiety it's causing in states like Michigan. Reporting by Bridge, Michigan indicates the nonprofit Samaritas will assist some 2,000 refugees through next September, a 14% year-over-year increase. Immigrants' rights advocates maintain many businesses owe their survival to a workforce populated in part by refugees. In 2016, Michigan was the fourth largest state for refugee settlement, according to Global Detroit. West Michigan is not expecting a recession anytime soon. Researcher Brian Long with Grand Valley State University says their latest survey of the economy is still marginally negative, but not negative enough to foreshadow a recession. However, he notes consumer surveys can be unpredictable.
Last month, the consumer survey from the Conference Board concluded that the consumer confidence dipped rather sharply, but this month it bounced back again very nicely. These types of consumer surveys tend to be partially driven by the news cycle.
The editorial president at NBC News will be the University of Michigan's 2024 winter commencement speaker. Rebecca Blumenstein will be the main speaker December 15th at Chrysler Center. She's an alum of U of M and currently serves on the executive advisory board of the school's Wallace House Center for Journalists. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Skies will become mostly sunny here for today with a high in the upper 40s. Winds out of the north around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, mostly clear with a low around 30. By Wednesday, partial sunshine develops a high around 52 degrees. Then on Thursday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, a high around 51. Friday, partial sunshine develops a high of 52 degrees. Then by Saturday, we'll see some sunshine and a high around 54. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 57 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast.
Currently, it's 39.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan over at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in as a guest host for Art. One last hour, and we have a really cool hour up for everyone. So number one, Charlie is with us for this hour as the staff is bouncing all over the place. And at any point, we may include Charlie, because why not? If we're going to have a legend in our midst like this, we might as well get his opinions and thoughts during the hour. So Charlie, thanks for being with us. But we have kind of a cool segment that we do once a year. We have 3 high school students from Bay County who are taking part today in what's called Rotary Vocational Days. So let me break this down for you listeners. So first of all, the word Rotary. Rotary is a great service club that can be found all across the world. In our region, we have robust Rotary clubs in every community. In Bay County, we have 2 clubs. So we have the Bay City Tuesday Club that meets at noon. That is the larger of the 2 clubs, the first one established. The second one, we have the Bay City Morning Rotary Club, which I'm a member of, that meets Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. For my fellow morning Rotarians who are listening, they're probably laughing, as sometimes my attendance is not the best due to a complicated schedule. But Rotarians, my heart is always there. But Rotary years ago, in the history on this is really unique because it goes back so far. About 40 to 50 years ago, the Noon Club, a few Rotarians came together. And what they noticed was that they were starting to get a lack of interest in the professions that they worked in. And 2 Rotarians in particular, Griff Acker and Ralph Knopp, one was a veterinarian and one was a civil engineer. They really noticed that they were starting to see a lack of interest in their professions from students. And they went back to the Rotary Club and said, you know, if we're really going to be about service and about community, we as working professionals should do a better job connecting and making our local schools and our students aware of where the jobs are and professions are here in our region. So they started what they called the Vocational Days Project. And about 2 days a year, they worked with the schools to host high school students. So we're going to fast forward to today, and I've been doing this now for about 10 years, guys. So for the last 10 years, I've been the chair of the Vocational Day program. We now work with 8 schools in Bay County: Bay City Central, Bay City Western, Bangor John Glenn, Essexville Garber, Pinconning, Bay City All Saints, Saginaw Valley Lutheran, and Bay City Academy now is new this year. We have 8 schools where we work with the high school counselors from each of those schools. Phenomenal counselors. So today, John Glenn and their counselor Sarah Engelberts. At Bay City Western, we have Beth Jahosky. And at Bay City Central, Ed Clemens. And all the schools have a counselor. They work with either high school juniors or seniors to find them job shadow opportunities through Vocational Day. So today, roughly 150 high school juniors and apparently an occasional senior sneaks into the mix, are out and about job shadowing. Want to give a special shout out to my friends at McLaren Bay Region. They're hosting 74 students today, anywhere from pharmacy and lab and surgery centers, you name it. They are kind of the anchor of this. But we have students all over the place. They're job shadowing at Serenus Johnson. They're out with Clemens Electric. They're over at M20 Veterinary. We have 2 groups that are out with the Bay County Sheriff's Department, actually doing road patrols, and with Bay City Public Safety, with fire and police. I get lucky enough that I get 3 students right here with me today, and they're going to be on the air with us. So first, we're going to welcome Emma with Bangor John Glenn. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning.
We have Will with Bay City Western. Good morning, Will.
Morning.
And then we have Thomas, Tommy. What do you prefer? What's the one we go with?
I go with Tommy all the time, but I'll introduce myself as Thomas to
Hey,
new people.
You know, his formal Thomas for the radio, but at the end of the day, Tommy.
Yep.
Emma, you are a senior, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Will and Tommy, juniors, correct?
Yep.
So we're going to start with Emma. You know, she's the OG in the room. She's the senior. You know, she's the veteran. Emma, you got a chance to participate in vocational days. Why are you here today, and why did you pick coming over to Alpha Media and WSGW?
I'm here today to kind of figure out what I want to do in my future. I like the business side of things, and last year I shadowed a pharmacist at McLaren, and I came here today to learn like the sales side of it and to just get an idea of what it's like to talk to people a lot more.
Awesome. I love it. But here you are. You're on the radio. What do you think? You're going to be a DJ?
Most likely not.
Smart move.
Maybe
Charlie
a
will
last
tell
resort.
you that's a brilliant move. And there's a lot of things that you can do in radio. So I love that you've been here all day.
Mm-hmm.
Will, what made you come over here to WSGW today?
I like talking a lot, so I heard like radio and announcing. I got interested with it, and I also like sports, so like talking sports, analytic sports. So just a lot of options you can get into with announcing. So that's why I'm here today.
So you're gonna have to do me one favor though, because I like it, man. You got the voice. You know, you and I don't talk a lot. So for our listeners, I wear various hats. One of the hats is school board president in Bay City. It's a fun hat. So I'm at a lot of Bay City activities. Another hat is I'm the announcer for football and basketball. So I'm out there quite a bit. Yet another hat is I'm Noah's dad. And Noah plays football and basketball. So that puts me in a lot of things. So Will and I don't maybe talk a lot, but I see him. You got that radio voice. Can you go an octave deeper? Like give me like the super deep radio voice and give me the good morning everyone, but give me like your best radio voice.
I don't know how to like really do a radio.
Come on,
voice.
you gotta it comes deep. They let it go from, they'll say from the diaphragm, from the stomach. It's got to come from deep within. Give me a good morning, everybody, with a good sultry radio voice.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, that's better. See, now we're hitting it. And Tommy, we have you from Bay City Central.
Yes.
What made you come here today to do this job shadow?
Well, this was the closest one to the field I'm looking at going to after college and high school, of course.
So what field do you want to go into?
I do want to go into cybersecurity, specifically counterterrorism, but also knowing how radios work and seeing the inner workings of it, I think would help me a little bit too.
Awesome. That's really cool. So we're going to go right back to you, Emma. So you're a senior at John Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a plan next year? What are you going to do with your life?
My plan is to go into something related to entertainment and marketing. I do also like the sports end of that. Maybe like social media presence or just getting it out there.
Do you know where you're going to go to school next year yet? Are you going to go to college? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'm going to go to college, either SVSU or SVSU.
Oh, you said both. SVSU or MSU?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Have you applied to both?
Yes.
Have you gotten into both?
I got into SVSU. I'm still waiting on MSU.
Okay. Have you been checking the email system like a crazy lady every night?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just went through that. So I got it. My son just got into MSU probably like 2 weeks ago. And, Charlie, you'll appreciate this. I'm old. So when I applied for college and got into MSU, you had to wait for the letter to come in the mail. Now you just go into the online system and click refresh, and you find out if you get in this way. I think, though, once you accept it and you have to send your initial fee and that, then I think they send you some cool stuff in the mail. But yeah, like you guys, it takes a little bit of the magic out of going to the mailbox.
Yeah.
And, or, going to the letter and seeing that Notre Dame told you no, thank you, which is funny for my son. Now he's like shooting for the stars and he's applying at all these other schools. And, he plans to have a whole litany of schools that rejected him now. And he feels good, though, that he's got his fail-safe with MSU. So that's awesome. Well, you're a year younger, so you got a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Any thought on where you want to go to college and what do you want to do?
I'm not too sure. I got a couple options right now. I looked into like HVAC and like plumbing and all that stuff, working for a local. but also announcing. There's a lot. I don't know for sure yet, but those are like my top 2 I want to do. So,
Do you know where you want to go to school?
No, I'm doing right now in ELA. I'm doing a presentation for like college with Miss Riffle. It's like Fair State for HVAC and all that, but that's like all I got right now for my future plans.
Okay, we're going to keep talking because if you want to go into things like HVAC or the skilled trades, sometimes you don't have to go to school. There's great apprenticeship programs through our, union and non-union apprentice shops here in the area. Community college, also amazing. Going over to Delta or Mid-Michigan College and then transferring over into one of the trades programs. A lot of options for you. We will talk offline, Will. I got ideas for you, people you're going to meet. And then Tommy, you're a junior as well, but what are you thinking in terms of college at this point or trade school? Where are you thinking about going?
So at this point in time, I'm thinking about going into a very technical school like U of M or Michigan University of Technology up north for cybersecurity, hopefully. I'm looking at other colleges, but those are like my main 2. I'd prefer U of M over Michigan Tech up north because it's 8 hours away, but that's just me.
I didn't hear MSU in this, Tommy. Did I miss something? Did you say something and I missed it? Where did that? Where was that?
Well, I've looked at MSU and I just haven't seen it being the right school for me. So
fair enough. You're gonna get a pass today, Tommy. You're gonna get a pass. But I get it.
Well, my family likes MSU, so
okay. Your family can hang out with me. They're okay. We're gonna take a break though. I love having these students in. When we're back, we're gonna hear what it's like to be a student in today's day and age.
I have with me Jeff Carrick from MCare Choices, formerly Medicare Choices. Jeff, I'm understanding that there's big Medicare plan changes we need to look forward to.
Yes, all Medicare beneficiaries will receive a letter in the mail from their current carrier called the ANOC letter, and that's the Annual Notice of Change.
Jeff, what is the benefit to coming to Medicare Choices to get your Medicare review?
First of all, Jim, we're a no-fee service. It doesn't cost you 1 penny. We have all the major carriers here in the state of Michigan. We analyze your plan. We find out, who are your current doctors, your current prescriptions, and any kind of benefit preferences that are very important to you, and put that into a software system that it will help guide us to the best plan for you.
Jeff, if somebody has questions and wants to set up an appointment, what should they do?
They should give us a call at area code 989-899-7820. And remember, we cover not just Saginaw, but all the surrounding areas. And you can come to our office here in Saginaw, or we can schedule an appointment to come right to your home or meet at the local coffee shop.
Can they find you online?
Yes, at mcarechoices.com.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open mixed. The three major averages closed at records on Monday. Investors are on hold anticipating the Consumer Price Index for October, which will be released tomorrow. Retail shopping software company Shopify is reporting stronger than expected demand, and it anticipates a strong holiday season. Shopify shares are up more than 20%. Tyson Foods reported an upbeat quarter helped by sales of beef and chicken. Tyson shares are up 7%. Home Depot is holding up better than expected. Its earnings and revenue top forecasts. Home Depot shares up 1.5%. Hertz quarter was disappointing. It's still working to readjust its fleet after its commitment to electric rental cars had to be pulled back. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Our nation's economic problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight. Dr. Ron Paul here, and this is why I recommend diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold, a proven bedrock in any economy, with my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Imagine this, a day filled with indulgence, bursting with excitement, and packed with extraordinary moments that build memories to last a lifetime. Win big, relax oh so comfortably, then have an unforgettable dining experience at the world-famous Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. It's your getaway reimagined at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
3rd and 8. Blitz coming. Cardinals pick it up. McKenzie throws over the middle. It's
there
caught.
Goes.
And here goes Joseph Walker. Breaks the tackle. Joseph Walker, the 30, the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown Saginaw Valley. The Cardinals take the lead.
With a 7-3 record on the year so far, the Cardinals of Saginaw Valley State University return home to take on Michigan Tech in the final game of the season this Saturday. Game day coverage begins at 12:30 on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. So it's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in as a guest host for Art today. And as usual, when I'm here, we're chatting all things regional. And today is one of my favorite days because it's Rotary Vocational Day, and we have 3 students from Bay County job shadowing here at WSGW. They're doing their online, or not online, they're doing their actual on-air audition with their best radio voices to see if they can knock Charlie out of that seat at 3 a.m. every day, or whatever unholy time that Charlie comes in day after day after day. So we're with Emma from John Glenn, Will from Bay City Western, and Tommy from Bay City Central. So Emma, it's always ladies first. We're going to start with you, okay? So as a senior and a junior, at the age that you guys are at, you guys are still known for good or bad as COVID kids. For our listeners that, I'm thankful that I was not in school going through a pandemic like this. Never had to deal with anything like you guys had to deal with. Emma, how much did COVID really have an impact on you as you were going through? Because we're talking, 7th, 8th grade, you're in middle school when this hit, and it's kind of been part of your life all through high school. How's it been for you being kind of that, being part of one of that generation of COVID kids?
I'd say it affected my middle schools a lot more than my high school years. I didn't get a second half of my 7th grade year, really. And 8th grade year was very unsocial for me. But I think I excelled in the high school years in creating a lot of new friends and bonds that COVID wasn't stopping, and getting to do a lot more stuff like coming here and going different places with different people to learn about stuff, and co-oping and all that stuff is really nice.
So Emma, were you ever, at that age, were you ever afraid of COVID? Was it something that you had a fear of, or for you, was it hey, it's here, I'm a young kid, I'm not too worried about it? How did you really think about it?
I was a little afraid of it. I have people in my family that are healthcare workers who faced it every day and had to come home to their families about it. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just kind of carried on with my everyday life. I couldn't really do anything to stop it except just stay home.
Sure. So Will and Tommy, you guys are up next because you were even younger then, right?
Yeah.
You know, Emma's the old lady of the group, so you know she really handled this. You guys are younger. Will, so probably hit you now, like 6th, 7th grade. You and Tommy. What kind of impact did it have on you, Will?
I think it created like a little bit of bad habits, like online school. In 6th grade, you're like, oh, you don't really got to show up to it. You know, it's just online school. So like not turning your work in. So I mean, I care a little way, but I've gotten better with it. So I'd say that's a big one. And then like socializing and like getting up and actually doing something instead of just sitting at home, you know, playing video games. So a little bit of bad habits, I would say. It got me with.
Sure. Tommy, how about you? What kind of impact did COVID have on you in middle school here and then in high school?
Well, it was not as big of an impact as the other two. I will say that, because as soon as they all went in quarantine, I just sat home, played video games with my buddies like I always do, because I just moved to Bay City at that point. So it's like I didn't know anyone there. So it really didn't change much for me, but it was still a big impact because I did lose out on my middle school years.
So let me ask the question this way now. Do you think there were any unintended positive consequences of having to go through something like this in terms of, you have to learn some life skills, you have to learn how to cope, you have to learn challenges, maybe you have to learn in a different way, think in a different way. Are there any things that you think that may have ended up giving some positives? Emma, you're up first. What do you got? Any positives? And it's fine to say, no, that was brutal. No, thank you. What do you think?
I don't think there's many positives. I think some of it is being able to adapt and cope with new situations that you don't really have control over.
Fair. How about for you, Will?
I also would say there's not really a lot of positives for COVID, besides just like memories, hanging out with playing video games with your friends. It's the only thing I can think of.
Yep. How about for you, Tommy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I do not think there were many or any positives, just that we improved healthcare a little bit during that, I'd say.
Sure. So I'm going to give you guys a couple things to think about. A slight teaching moment here. So number one, I do think it made us realize how fragile our lives can be, or how fragile our daily routine can be. And so just getting together for going to a high school, basketball game when there wasn't sports, or being able to be in class, that I think a lot of times you think, gosh, I don't want to go to school. This is brutal. I hate being there. I think COVID created an appreciation for things that maybe folks took for granted every day. I don't think we take those for granted anymore. I can tell you, I did it, but I hated wearing a mask, right? So nice not to have to think about or being mandated to wear a mask somewhere. That was great. Probably the last one that I've seen, at least with my kids the last 2 years, which I think has actually been really helpful. Online learning's prepared them for collegiate learning, because college learning, so much is done online now. Your syllabus, how your professor communicates, how they use web teaching. Both of my kids are dual enrolled. My daughter, for example, right now, she's a sophomore, but she's taking sociology at Delta College, and it's all online. And so the ability to navigate the website, communicate with the professor via email, learn independently, like, hey, here's reading. Well, guess what? You're not sitting in class 5 hours a week, so you have to read it. Here are the videos. You have to watch them. Here's how you have to balance your time. I think that was kind of an unintended positive consequence, that type of learning was coming regardless of the pandemic, because technology is used so frequently at those levels now, because colleges and universities understand that they have to have flexibility for people to learn. And that doesn't always mean, being in a classroom anymore. And you can do all that via remote. So I think some of those things were good, or just the fact that I still use things like Zoom and Teams quite a bit for meetings, or to be able to communicate with people that before, like, wow, we never really did a Zoom. Like, why? We can communicate with people all across the country, and we can be on video screen together and not have to all fly to Chicago for a conference for a couple of days. There's some really good positive things that I think we've learned on how to adapt. But I'll just say, I think for your generation, you guys had to be guinea pigs for a lot of things. And people are like, oh, well, we'll try this, or we'll social distance here. You guys wear the mask here. We'll set up this. You're going to learn from home. You're going to go back. You guys dealt with a lot. So I will just say thank you for coping. Thank you for your flexibility. Thank you for your ability to adapt. I think at the end of the day, 20, 30 years from now, you're all going to be much stronger than my generation who never had to do anything like that. But we're very sorry that you definitely had to deal with that. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and keep chatting with students from Bay County.
To protect that potato. America's favorite game show about protecting potatoes. Tonight's question: how do you get long-lasting residual control of white mold and early blight with enhanced yield performance? EnduraPro fungicide. Correct! Yeah. It's a clear victory with EnduraPro fungicide, the newest weapon against the toughest potato diseases. Now available from BASF. Ask your retailer about EnduraPro fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
When you plant Rink, you can expect excellence in every seed. Why? Because we expect excellence in every seed. For 6 generations, we've done extensive testing across the Midwest and Great Plains to select the best drought and disease-resistant varieties. This testing, plus our investment in genetic research and state-of-the-art seed processing, result in better yields. Don't leave your seed to chance. Let us help you find the right seed for your growing conditions. Rink Seed. Results since 1846.
Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, their U.S.-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
The holidays are among the busiest times of year for businesses and nonprofits, and preparing for the season is essential for maximizing time and impact. Here's Walmart's Amanda Yeager on how Walmart Business can help owners and operators create a magnificent experience while managing costs.
From stocking up on everyday business essentials to planning a magical holiday party and handpicking the right gifts for employees and clients, Walmart Business has you covered.
As companies begin thinking about all of their holiday preparations, Walmart Business makes it easy and convenient to get everything you need.
Browse Walmart Business online or via the app for all of your business essentials and seasonal needs. From office supplies and electronics for everyday operations to festive decorations and fresh food for your year-end party. Plus, conveniently pick up your order curbside or even have it delivered directly to you.
Get all your seasonal supplies at business.walmart.com.
The annual WSW Food for Families campaign presented by Michigan Sugar is going on now through Thanksgiving weekend. Once again, we are asking you to make non-perishable food donations to help those in need as served by the Salvation Army locations in Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland. You can make donations at Michigan Sugar, the Uptown Bay City offices, and the processing plants in Bay City, Seboween, Carroll, and Croswell. You could also visit these other businesses serving as Food for Families donation locations. Crane's L&M Appliance, Mattress, and Furniture, 2 locations in Saginaw and Carroll. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center in Midland. Wolffiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Capoco Credit Union, 2 locations, Saginaw and Bay City. Big Gick Nursery and Garden Center in Bay City. Art Noe Appliance, the 3 locations, 2 in Saginaw and 1 in Frankenmuth. Thumb Bank and Trust in Bay City. And special thanks to Reimold Printing in Saginaw for the printing and boxes. For specific business addresses and other information, visit WSTW.com and look for the Food for Families box. Food for Families with you, the Salvation Army, Michigan Sugar, and WSTW.
From the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, you are listening to 100.5 FM and 790 AM. And from Stormmaster Exteriors, you are listening online at WSGW.com.
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. And I'm joined this hour by our best and brightest 3 Bay County high school students who are doing a job shadow today. And they've been checking out things here at Alpha Media and WSGW. And have been going through the studios, the sales department, and getting at least an idea of how radio stations operate here, which is awesome. Glad you guys are taking the time. But for us, it's kind of cool because we get a chance to interview some local students, really kind of pick their brains about what it's like to be a high school student here in 2024-25. For our listeners, I have 2 high school students at home. So I know too much and I know too well. So I'm doing this for you today in case you're curious, because my cup overflows with high school. Again, I'm going to be PC because we're on the radio. Stuff. I do a lot of high school stuff. But I think for our listeners, it's always fascinating to kind of hear what it's like to be a high school student today. So I'm going to go back to Emma, and I couldn't help but notice, but on the break, you were on that phone. And I'm guessing that you were on some kind of social media. You were snap talking, Instaing, like you were up to something, right? So for your generation, how big is social media part of your everyday life?
Social media is very big.
So give our listeners an idea. You're 17, 18. What kind of social media do you utilize on a daily basis?
Usually I utilize Snapchat to talk to my friends. I go on Instagram a lot and TikTok when I'm really bored.
Do you and your friends make the dance videos like where you're standing in a living room and y'all do a dance and rhythm and I have no idea what it is, but you seem to be having a good time? Do you do those?
On occasions.
Yeah, no, I see it. My daughter Alex, she's a sophomore. I will like literally walk into the living room and there's like some little dance routine and I'm like, what is happening? And then I see her phone, it's up, on a spot and she's clearly recording. Do you think social media has had a positive impact on your life, a negative impact on your life, or both? And this question for you is really important because as a girl, I feel like girls on social media are built differently than boys on social media. It can oftentimes be used very mean-spiritedly and almost in a bullying way. What has your experience been with social media? Good, bad, both?
I think it's both. I think the positive side of it is that it allows people to express themselves how they want and get their ideas out there, businesses, anything like that. The negative side of it is a lot of people compare themselves to other people, or it's a race, see who gets more followers or more likes, and it creates a negative connotation to it a lot.
What's your longest streak on Snap? How long is it?
Like over 1,000.
Over 1,000?
Yes.
Okay. No. For our listeners, apparently one of the things, and my daughter is big on this, like if we're somewhere and she doesn't have access to being online, she will panic because she has certain streaks where they have sent at least one Snapchat per day for like 3 or 4 years. And, at that moment, if it's the end of the day and that streak isn't there, like pure panic has set in. Like the world is about to end unless this streak continues. So, I know the importance of these things. And you find this, it's a priority for you, correct? You want the streak to continue,
Slightly. Right? My world won't end though.
Are we sure? Because I've been
sure.
told that it will if the streak ends.
Some people may think that.
Okay, well that's good. That's healthy. Well, how about for you? How big of a you're a dude, right? Yeah. You're a different breed here. So is it different for you, or is social media still a pretty important part of your life and something you utilize frequently?
I'm on it all the time. I'm on TikTok all the time, Instagram all the time, Snapchat all the time, and then sometimes Twitter for like sports, like Adam Schefter's always reporting whatever for football.
If you follow Matt Felan on X, when a Michigan State game's being played, you'll get a few opinions on the matter. And if you want to, give me a follow, follow back, and you can follow my sports thoughts on MSU. That's for sure.
I'll for sure do that when I get done with this. But I would say it's like what Emma said. It's like there's both positive and negatives. Like you get to like know a lot more things about the world, a lot more information rather than like looking up on the news because it's just on your For You page instead of looking it up. So, I mean, I would just say it's brought a lot of awareness to us, but also like a lot of like real world situations that aren't too great or too positive. So I would say it's mostly good and bad, but it really just depends.
Sure. Tony, how about you? And you're a dude that wants to go into cybersecurity. You like computers. Are you on social media a lot or not really?
So I used to be, and now I kind of limit myself to an hour and a half a day for like all of my social medias total, by setting time limits and stuff. to prevent myself because it would get bad some days. Yeah, I mean, I just have the self-imposed like timers just to keep myself in check.
I like it. Are any of you guys on Facebook?
I
look
am,
at
but
Facebook every day.
I'm not on it, but I'm on it.
Because Grandma's on there, right?
Yeah.
And Grandma's posting stuff on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
It's funny to me to watch the generations, right? Because I always joke, I was like, "Are you on Snapchat?" I'm like, a 50-year-old man on Snapchat is creepy. Like, no, there's no need for a 50-year-old man to be on Snapchat, right? But my generation, yeah, MySpace. That's funny. My generation is much more Facebook and Twitter, right? And I do Twitter a lot for news or, dear Lord, what's Elon Musk saying next, right? So I like to be on X or whatever. So I'm on there, but do I have an Insta page? Sure. Do I care that much? No, it's more to monitor my kids a little bit, make sure they're not doing anything dumb. We're a little bit different, but it's funny to watch the different generations. But for me, it was funny because Facebook was like the cool thing. You know, at the time you guys were probably being born, to be honest, or right before you were being born. And it was funny to watch that later generation come in with our parents, your grandparents coming in, because, you know, we didn't fully expect that. You know, these 70-year-olds are out there, you know, Facebooking and posting and doing the deal. Like, okay, this is kind of cool. You didn't really know. But for your generation, definitely a big part of your everyday life. So this was a helpful conversation. And I think it lets us know kind of what your day looks like on that. So we're going to take one last break, and we're going to be back with one final segment with our Rotary Vocational Day students.
The Great Lakes Bay Economic Club's next luncheon is Monday, November 18th at Curtis Hall at SVSU. The election and its economic impact will be discussed and led by SVSU economics professor Zachary Cole. Please join us for the Economic Club Luncheon Monday, November 18th. And for more information and to sign up, please go to the Great Lakes Bay Economic Club website. And we look forward to seeing you at the luncheon.
It's Tommy James and the Shondells. Saturday night party night, November 30th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Classic 60s hits with Tommy James. Tickets start at $35 and are on sale now at the box office at etix.com.
My baby does the hanky panky.
November 30th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Don't miss Tommy James and the Shondells. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Michigan football is on WSGW, presented by Premier Tile and Stone in Midland, the Bay Area's first choice for quality porcelain and decorative tile.
Proud of the way they fought in the second half, especially on defense. I think they held them to 56 total yards, and the story of the game is just not scoring in the red zone. You know, you can't get down there multiple times, and 1st and 6 we can't punch it in. So, and you got a bye week coming up. We got to do things that make sure we can get the first down.
Michigan football on WSGW is brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline of Frankenmuth, Lingle Equipment of Saginaw, Wool Files Ace Hardware of Saginaw, Midland Radio, Weiss Equipment Company of Frankenmuth, Melicote Law Office, Mid-State Sewer Service, Antique Warehouse, Auto House of Linwood, Wood Reviver, Euclid Avenue Coins, Bicycle Village, Valley Heating and Cooling. This week, Michigan is on a bye week with the Wolverines returning to the gridiron next Saturday on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's our final segment here of Tuesday, and we're joined by 3 students from Bay County who are doing job shadows today, participating in Rotary Vocational Days, and kind of a cool opportunity to interview them and chat about what it's like to be a student today. So I'm going to go back to you, and I'm going to age myself and us. I'm giving you Harry Potter's wand. You have the magic wand. 25 years from now, you're in your early 40s, which is still somehow younger than me. I don't know, Charlie, what that happened, but apparently it does. It's crazy. No, I think you're so good, Charlie. You'll be with us. But 25 years from now, you have a magic wand. Where are you? As someone who's a senior, and where you hope to be, where do you see yourself in 25 years? What's happened?
I have a stable income in-house. Maybe 1 or 2 kids.
Twins, maybe?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
So everyone knows Emma is a twin.
Yes.
So she's had to grow up, dealing with that. Aren't you like super connected to your brother? Like you guys can feel the universe together. You share feelings. You can sense things together. No?
No.
Okay. So now we know.
Yes. I'll probably end up staying in Michigan. I just like living here.
Okay, cool. You gonna live here in the Great Lakes Bay region? You want to go explore? Maybe a little both. What do you think you want to do?
Maybe a little both. I like going up north a lot, so
you're gonna have a big old cabin on Torch Lake?
Yes, I'd love that.
See, there we go. That you had the magic wand. You have to go big here.
I'll make it happen.
Okay, I like it, Emma. Well, 25 years from now, where are you? What are you doing?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna be up north in Michigan somewhere. Hopefully, like Traverse City, Charlevoix, or like Torch Lake would be nice.
I think we all want the big house
Yeah.
on Torch Lake, don't we? I'm 50 and I want the big lake or the
those-
big house on Torch Lake,
Those are
right?
crazy expensive though. Like I went up there a couple years ago and we looked at the prices. They're crazy expensive. But I don't know. Just like living my life and actually enjoying it. Have a job that I enjoy. It doesn't have to be a great job, but like just a job I like doing. Probably with like a wife, hopefully. Just enjoying life. And then if she wants a kid, get a kid.
What about you? Don't you want a slew of kids? 5, so you can have your own basketball team.
I don't know.
Your own basketball team that you can coach.
I don't know.
Let's go.
I got 3 siblings, so I got 3 actual siblings, and I got 4 step siblings. So I don't know if I like all that little people. I think I just keep it to like a minimum of like maybe 2 kids, maybe 3. I don't know.
Totally fair. I'm just going to give you the bad news, though. So, like, literally, one of my best friends growing up was always a guy. I'm never getting married. I'm never having kids. It's not going to happen. No way. Guess what? He was the first one to have kids, married. He has 3 daughters. Like, he talked that big game, and then when it came down to it, there he was. It could be you, Will.
Yeah.
You guys heard it. Will Martin going to have 5 kids and have his own basketball team because he loves hoops. We got it now. Tommy, you got Harry Potter's wand. Where are you going to be in 25 years?
I hopefully would be working for the FBI. That's my ultimate dream job. Doing cybersecurity for them. Hopefully, I would probably not be living in Michigan. I don't like how cold it gets in the winter and how just sucky it is. So I'd probably move down to Tennessee, somewhere where it's like right in the middle, where you don't have to deal with a bunch of natural disasters, but you could also go snowboarding in like winter and stuff.
So it's kind of cool. So I have a question for you. Were you able to vote in this election or not yet?
I was not. I'm still 17.
You were not. Okay. So I'm going to ask all 3 of you real quickly. So you had to at least watch an election and see what happened and what was going on. What's your take as someone who's 17? Were you like, okay, this is cool. I like who won, or I didn't like, or I thought the campaign was cool? Or do you look at politics and go, these people are all crazy? What are they doing? What do you guys think about just national politics in general? You don't have to say who you would have voted for. What you like. We'll keep that to yourself. But just politics in general. What's your kind of sense of it, Emma?
I think there's 2 sides to it. I think a lot of people go overboard and it's crazy. And then the other side of it too is to see how people would campaign themselves and interact with the people who chose them to be elected.
Sure. Will the Throw, what's your take on politics as you watch it as a high school junior?
I think a lot of like the high ups are like more radical than people say. Like they're just Republicans. No, they're just Democrats. I think they're all like radicals, all of them. I just like the person that has like lower gas prices. That's all I care about as a 17-year-old, because that's all I gotta worry about. I don't gotta worry about anything else. So whatever gets me lower gas prices, that's who I would be like, oh yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, 77-year-olds feel the same way.
Yeah.
We're all rooting for lower gas prices at all times. Tommy, how about you? What was just your sense or take on politics as you had to watch and experience it this year?
I'm gonna be honest. I thought both candidates were not good for office. I do not think they should have been in office, and that's just my personal thoughts on it. I personally don't buy into politics. I'm not very political, but just on this most recent election, I just don't think either one should have been elected.
Folks, that may or may not have been one of the most thoughtful comments I've heard on politics this entire year from a 17-year-old at Bay City Central. Well, hey, I want to thank all three of you for being here today, for your interest in this job shadow, for hanging out, being interviewed for an hour, for going to lunch upcoming. Well, I know I'm looking forward to seeing you there, and wish you guys all the best of luck here in your senior and junior years. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Associates in Eye Care in Saginaw are hosting their Fall Harvest Trunk Show Thursday, November 14th, 1 until 6:30 p.m. Stop in and see all the latest styles in eyewear, giveaways, refreshments, and so much more. Take 30% off a complete pair and 40% off additional pairs with several brands to choose from. Plus, don't forget, most insurance balances will be ending at the end of the year, so book your appointment while you're there. The Fall Harvest Trunk Show, Thursday, November 14th, 1 until 6:30 p.m. at Associates in Eye Care off Center Road in Saginaw.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Pour Downy in the rinse shade. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret. No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic. Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous. I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going? I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
It's Mark Lave and Camp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Want to thank my guests this morning, Andy Weiss from Truck Trolley, and then Emma, Will, and Tommy, all from various schools in Bay County, participating in Rotary Vocational Days. Also want to thank all of you, as I've been your guest host for the last 7 business days. But we are all excited. Tomorrow, the legend, Art Lewis, the Hall of Famer, will be back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Next up is Focus, but first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios. WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland. WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. A judge has put off a decision on what to do about President-elect Trump's conviction in his hush money case in light of the Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. CBS's Katrina Kaufman.
This has been postponed by a week. The prosecution has asked for some time to weigh the balance of this jury verdict against the office of the president, the fact that Trump has now been re-elected president. So we have to wait a week to see what the judge is going to decide here.
And the high court, the Supreme Court, has refused to let former Trump chief of staff Mark Meadows move the election interference case against him in Georgia to federal court. New Trump cabinet selections, Florida Senator Marco Rubio has been picked as Secretary of State. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has been chosen as Homeland Security Secretary. CBS's Major Garrett.
Things are moving very rapidly. I would expect more announcements today, possibly Treasury Secretary, possibly Energy Secretary. So there's tremendous speed. There are PowerPoints presented to President-elect Trump. He's like, I don't need PowerPoints. I know what I want to do. Let's just move.
Members of Congress have returned to Washington with House Speaker Mike Johnson vowing to push the Trump agenda.
We're going to raise an America First banner above this place. We lay the groundwork for the next Congress, and we usher in this new day in America.
A new Louisiana law that requires the 10 Commandments to be displayed in all public classrooms by January 1st has been temporarily blocked by a federal judge. 3 U.S. airlines are taking action after 2 planes were hit by gunfire in Haiti. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Spirit has said they've suspended service to both of the airports in Haiti that they serve, and they're going to evaluate when or if they resume. JetBlue has suspended service through at least December 2nd. American Airlines said through at least Thursday.
In the UK, the Archbishop of Canterbury resigned today. Justin Welby had been under fire for his handling of a sex abuse scandal. Nominees have been announced for the 2025 Songwriters Hall of Fame. Boy George is on the list, along with Sheryl Crow. So is Janet Jackson. And Eminem. Among others on the songwriters nominee list, George Clinton, NWA, the Doobie Brothers, Alanis Morissette, and Bryan Adams. Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 137. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You already know that ATS is the area's premier self-defense training academy, but did you know that we're also the area's premier seller of self-defense pistols? At Applied Training Solutions, located in the Midland Mall, we do bespoke firearm fittings. You wouldn't run a marathon in ill-fitting shoes. Don't be in a defensive engagement with a firearm that doesn't fit you. Call 989-220-1462. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
Retirement is more than a newly discovered free time. It's a time to reflect on how you will be remembered and your legacy. It's important to make proper arrangements now. Tune in to WSGW every Sunday at 8 a.m. to your Financial Empower Hour with Jason Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment Advisors in Midland. Learn how to structure your retirement savings to increase the value of your estate and help leave the legacy you want. Plus, call Great Lakes Investment Advisors today, and they will include a complimentary Legacy Maximizer. 989-835-7203. That's 989-835-7203. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, their U.S.-based restoration specialists will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly sunny skies and 41 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. 2 tornadoes were reported to have touched down in mid-Michigan on Sunday evening. The first tornado, an EF0, touched down in Gratiot County between Rich and Alger Roads near Hayes Road at 5:50. It was on the ground for 3 minutes with peak wind speeds of about 60